Hey swarmers, welcome back to the Hive. We hope you've had a win this week along your journey to being a more sustainable version of yourself. Last week, we discussed some of the problems with industrial agriculture. As the name implies, it's all about doing things on a bigger scale to obtain more of the thing we need, food. On the other hand, sustainable farming draws on a variety of different techniques, but its goal is to produce long-term crops while having minimal effects on the environment and using resources more efficiently. But there's a step even further, which is arguably what we should be aiming for, and that's regenerative agriculture. Regenerative agriculture goes beyond just caring for the current environment, but places focus on literally regenerating the ecosystem. The major focus with regenerative agriculture is soil health. Nothing can grow in damaged and malnourished soil. We've been degrading topsoil for decades through decarbonization, chemical pollution, erosion, and desertification. And it takes around 1,000 years to naturally generate 3 centimeters of topsoil, which is also a vital carbon sink. Soil contains 2 to 3 times more carbon than the atmosphere. And it's estimated that 50% of that carbon has been released into the atmosphere in the last few centuries, a process hastened by industrial agriculture. So what can farmers do to start adopting regenerative agriculture practices? Here is a list of 7 processes to try. Number 1, reducing or stopping tilling. Fewer disruptions to the soil ensures microbe diversity and improves soil structure, which then helps protect from wind and water erosion. Number 2, cover cropping. This is literally covering the land with vegetation, even in between rows of more permanent crops. This aids carbon sequestration, recycles nutrients, allows for reduced fertilizer use, prevents excess fertilizer leaching into watersheds and groundwater, and promotes good soil biology and structure. Number 3, using compost. We are huge fans of composting here in the Hive. All of our food scraps and peels go into compost because it dramatically reduces methane emissions when compared with food waste being put into landfills. It's also super nutritious for your soil, providing fertilizing activity on a much longer timeline than chemical fertilizers. Additionally, it's a way to help recycle phosphorus, a necessary element in the diets of all living things on Earth. Number 4, intercropping. This is where there are several crops grown together in an organized manner where they benefit each other in some way. Some crops make great partners, like coffee and tomatoes, but others don't play so nice together, so some research is needed before planting certain things side by side. Number 5, crop rotation. This means not planting the same crop in the same soil for a period of years. Usually, rotation of crops will take place every 2 to 3 years. It helps manage soil-borne pests and improve soil nutrient and microbial levels. Number 6, Silvopasture. This fancy word refers to animals grazing on land where trees are left to grow. This synergistic practice improves soil health and provides both plant and animal nutrition. Additionally, it's beneficial for the livestock to have shade. And lastly, number 7, pasture cropping. This is where the livestock is allowed to wander on land destined for cropland to graze, fertilize, and turn the soil over. Then, when the crop is planted, it invariably leads to higher yields. It can be looked at from the other way around, too. When pasture forage is dormant, an opportunistic farmer can plant a crop. Something else hugely important to maintain sustainable agriculture is water efficiency. Using low-flow or drip irrigation systems can reduce water use by up to 50%. And when we recall that agriculture accounts for 70% of fresh water use globally, this is a very important step. As the world's population increases, humans will need to find a way to increase food production in a sustainable manner. It is nearly impossible to have a complete overhaul of the current agriculture industry, so it is important that sustainable best practices are implemented. As consumers, it is our job to tell companies that we want these changes made. We can do this by purchasing sustainable produce, working with government officials to create legislation, and supporting regenerative agriculture farmers in their fight to make this practice more widespread and welcomed. There's likely a group you can join, even remotely, to help take this conversation to a wider audience. We hope you've learned something new today, Swarmers. Thank you, as always, for being here with us in the Hive as we explore better ways to live on this beautiful planet, accepting that we are part of nature, not living in nature. Stay well, stay sustainable, and we will see you next time. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with your friends.